Speaking to Anne Campbell from the Argus newspaper. Anne, are you surprised? Is it what you expected? What were your predictions? Or tell me now what you with the results, particularly the three are in. But what is your feeling on it?
I think everybody was stunned by how well Gerry Adams has done. It was certainly predicted in some quarters that he would take a seat. So the Sunday Independent poll done maybe 4 weeks ago on Sunday predicted he would take the second seat. The Democrat poll last Wednesday, 3 days ago, predicted he would take a second seat. Even his own people were saying, look, get him in, we think he's going to get in. Nobody thought he was going to top the poll. I think a lot of it had to do with two things. One was the mobilisation of the Sinn Féin vote, which is legendary. And the second of all, I think Fergus O'Dowd gave up a lot to try and get Peter Fitzpatrick in. The vote management, hopefully, if Fine Gael can bring in a second candidate, will be great for them. I think Fergus sacrificed a poll-topping position to try and get his running mate in. So
and funny, I did an interview with him a few minutes ago, and he was making that point, that they did work hard at it, but he certainly did not expect to be beaten by Gerry Adams, and you can see that listening to him talking even.
All the polls suggested that Fergus was going to top the poll.
And doesn't it show you though, it's hard to know how to judge it. People are saying they thought he'd have maybe 7,000 or 8,000 votes to distribute, You can't tell anymore.
Not anymore, but the one thing that you can tell from this election is just how angry the people are. And the turnout in some of the areas, some of the working class areas in Dundalk is over 80%. There's a massive turnout in Louth as in everywhere else, and people made big efforts yesterday to make sure that they cast their vote. They're angry, they're very angry, and it wasn't just a question of not voting for a certain party. They had made up their mind to vote for other people.
That's stopping well. and I was down yesterday at the Redemptorist Hall, St George's Hall, early yesterday morning, 10 o'clock. The amount of people and cars and excitement and they were all talking going in, who are you going to vote for, who are you not going to vote for.
I was up the town yesterday afternoon, and it was a brilliant buzz around the town. People finally felt that a line was being drawn under everything that has gone on this last two or 3 years. They felt very positive that they were, for the first time in 4 years, have been able to contribute to a decision that affects their lives, and they no longer feel powerless. And I think it was that had buoyed up people, especially in Dundalk. No matter who they voted for, they had their people picked, and they knew who they wanted. And
would you be disappointed or again, or shocked, or whatever way you like to put it, at the performance of the independents in Louth?
There was far too many independents in Louth. They could have done extremely well if they had a ULA type candidate. The left wing vote is here. Gerry Adams and Labour proved that, and a strong ULA candidate on an issue, say like the hospital, or say on anti-corruption, would have drawn in a lot of votes. Labour, Sinn Féin have boosted their performance because of the anger in society. So the independents, there was a plethora of them from the extreme right to the extreme left, and unless you knew them, people weren't going to vote for them.
Now, we are at this stage when we're talking, and we don't know who the fourth seat is going to. What is your prediction now at the moment?
If I had £1 for every time that was been asked of me this last hour or so, I'd be a very rich lady. But I feel that the tide here in Louth and nationally is for Fine Gael.
So we're talking about
Fitzpatrick is going to take. I think Fitzpatrick's going to take the second seat. I think we'll have to see just how good the vote management has been for Fine Gael. And
you've been in the media a good many years, and you've covered an awful lot of elections and everything. Could you have ever imagined that there was a chance that Fianna Fáil wouldn't even get a seat in Louth?
I never imagined it, and I'm certainly not ruling James Carroll out of the fray at the moment, but I get it hard to figure out where James is going to get the transfers from, because I think when Adams' surplus is divided, left-wing parties will benefit from it. So I think Labour will do very well out of it. I think Nash will do quite well out of it, and Mary Moore, even Mark Deary will get a few of Adams's votes as well. I don't see anybody voting for Adams and then Fianna Fáil. I don't see anybody doing it. I think Peter Fitzpatrick will get a lot because people want a local person and a Dundalk person for Dundalk. So I'm going to call it, I'm going to say Peter Fitzpatrick for the last seat.
I would have to say too, you mentioned Mark Deary. Mark Deary would be one of the most popular young chaps in Dundalk, with a love for Dundalk and local family and history and the work he's done for Dundalk. But it's the party that he did not get the vote because of the party, not because of Mark Deary.
No, whatever vote Mark got, and it's way down on what he got the last time, was for him personally, which he deserves.
Yes.
But he was absolutely mired in the Green Party, and in turn was mired, who were in turn mired by Fianna Fáil, soiled by Fianna Fáil and stained by them. And he couldn't get rid of that. He couldn't. And unfortunately, that's why he ended up with... I think he'll certainly come back. He will regroup, he will come back, and it's only a matter of time before he takes a seat in Louth.
Can I just ask you this question about the Shannon? What happens to Shannon now? I know they're talking about budget, but I don't mean that. As regards Mark Deary, he's a senator. Did they stay for 5 years, or what happens now when the new government go in?
God knows what will happen when the new government go in. Depends on the legislation. If Fine Gael want to bring forward the Senate legislation, he could be out of a job. James Carroll said in an interview last week that it's either the Dáil or the Dole for him.
As simple as that. So
as simple as that. So he could well be facing the unemployment as well. Now, in fairness, he's a businessman too, but
it's amazing what can happen in a year, isn't it?
It's amazing what can happen in one day, Harry.
And lovely to talk to you, and thank you very much indeed for giving us your time. Thank you.